The Mandalorian Chapter 8 just came out, and it's time for us to review it full of spoilers. This one's called The Redemption.
But it should be called the one where Baby Yoda uses powers like Elsa.
Now I'll never get that image out of my head. Welcome back to Eye to Eye, Disney Through Our Eyes. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is another review edition of Eye to Eye, where we're going to talk about The Mandalorian Chapter 8, the final episode, or chapter, whatever it is.
Season 1.
Of Season 1 of The Mandalorian. It's over, Jessica. It's over. What are we going to do with our lives?
Spoiler alert. I'm not even sad.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Are you... What... I can't even process. Are you trying to say that you are happy this is done?
I'm not happy, but I'm not sad. I did not look forward to it every week. I wasn't just like on the edge of my seat.
This is going to be a tough one to get through apparently tonight.
Through our eyes. My eyes didn't love it. Your eyes do love it.
Well, let's go through your eyes then. And since you didn't like The Mandalorian,
I didn't say I didn't like it.
let's go ahead and let you do
It's not my cup of tea.
You need to go ahead and do your 30-second review of the plot. And this is your spoiler warning right here. If you have not seen Chapter 8, The Redemption of The Mandalorian, don't watch past this point. If you watch past this point,
You'll be spoiled.
too bad. All right, Jessica.
But you may not be because I suck at these, so.
You don't suck at them. You're just interesting at them.
I'm just not good.
Are you ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
So the Scout Troopers have Baby Yoda, and then the IG-11 comes and takes Baby Yoda, and then he goes back to Navarro and shoots up a bunch of Stormtroopers, and then they get out the Mandalorian and Kira and all those people, and they get out, and then they come out into the city, and they're like shooting people, and then the shooting people have to come back inside because then the Stormtroopers have
10 seconds.
This big bomb. Oh my gosh, this is bad. And they go down this fire thing, and IG-11 sacrifices himself, and then they're in the TIE fighter, and then the Mandalorian gets on the TIE fighter, and then there's a bomb, and then he dies.
And that is it. That wasn't too bad. Here's the problem this time is that instead of getting bogged down in details in the middle, you got bogged down in the beginning. You got bogged down in the middle this time. But hey, you did good.
That did not make sense.
Look, I'm still halfway sick. Things don't make sense in my head.
I got bogged down in the beginning and not the middle.
I mean, I like that you called them shooty people in that one. I love the names that you attach to people in your plot.
So, AKA what happened was...
See what happened.
But the shooty people were the Stormtroopers.
Yes. I think everybody understood that. Because that's what we think about when we think of Stormtroopers, is shooty people. Even though they can't shoot people very well at all.
I mean, terrible. Like, let's talk about that. How are you a Stormtrooper? Like, your one job is to shoot people, and you were horrible at it. Like, you would fail at life.
Well, here, since you brought it up, I guess this is one of, I broke this down into big moments and then just some other moments that we may want to talk about. This is one of the other moments that I really appreciated was the Stormtrooper scene at the beginning of this. Because Taika Waititi, who is, responsible for...
Excuse you.
Yeah. Taika Waititi is... the writer for 2 of these episodes in this season.
That's right. And you told me a fun fact.
What's the fun fact?
He wrote
Thor Ragnarok.
that.
Yes.
And it was really funny.
You know how funny and much fun that
Thor
was?
Ragnarok.
So that sequence right there at the beginning with the 2 Scout Troopers, I think, was the perfect of what a Taika Waititi film is.
I didn't know that he wrote this and the other, but it makes so much more sense after seeing that very first clip. Yeah. When they're like back and forth about, no, you can't touch the baby. Yes, well, it's just touch the baby. I just want to see it. You just want to touch the baby.
It's very good at relational conversation in awkward settings or situations that don't make sense. So I thought taking the Stormtrooper element and attaching some of that stuff that he does so well in there, I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed that.
I liked it a lot.
It was. I thought at first it was a weird way to open up such a serious cliffhanger that we had.
But we needed it.
But we needed it in this one.
And it kind of gave us an inside look into Scout Troopers.
Sure, I guess if that's what you call inside. I just
think of Scout Troopers and Stormtroopers is just
you don't like them because they look like the Scream mask.
Yeah, those are creepy.
So now that you don't find them as scary.
I mean, I'm glad they're dead, but
dang, Jess, man,
they're evil. They took Baby Yoda.
They were just taking orders, they can't help it.
My orders say don't take him.
Okay, well, now that we know Jessica's order, that moves into... So I broke this down into a couple of big moments, big plot points.
There were a lot of big plots.
There are, but I that's why I took the time to kind of number down. The first one I bring up, because we already talked about the Stormtroopers, but IG-11 comes in and saves Baby Yoda from the Scout Troopers.
That's
true. I think we kind of saw it coming, didn't you? Didn't you kind of feel like that was going to happen based off of that? Really?
Because I'm always confused, so I didn't know that was going to happen.
Well, remember, Quill got killed.
Now, I mean, I guess.
He got
You're
killed.
right. You're right, because the recap had a lot of IG-11 in it. And I was like, he obviously has a big part if they're spending all this time.
We knew that he was assembled, the Avengers, basically, that were assembled in last episode, so he was standing by, ready to go.
You're right. I should have put 2 and 2 together. I just didn't think that he would... I guess I didn't think that he would come get the child and kill the scout troopers all in one fell swoop, and then come in and save the day and like murder 1 million stormtroopers.
Yeah,
he assassinated a lot of people.
And I think that was one of the other like more funny moments that I mentioned in our notes here, is that watching IG-11 on this speeder bike was comical, just because it's just a stiff guy just like so seriously going around, but then all of a sudden he's just pew 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 blowing everybody up everywhere.
You know what my favorite was?
What?
When they started shooting back at him and Baby Yoda was on his front and he just turns his body around and his head. Was that what I was like?
That's why they're so deadly as droids, is that they're just so hard to kill. So they come to the town.
Yep.
And he is what helps. He helps. Havoc happens. In between all that, though, Moff Gideon's have an exchange with Cara Dune, the Mandalorian, and Greef Karga that are all pinned down, and we kind of find out some information about some people. Some really interesting tidbits here. The first thing that we find out is that the Mandalorian's name is Din Djarin. Now that's Djarin with a D. It's silent at the beginning,
which makes so much sense.
Well, it's Star Warsy. I like it.
It's not English.
When he first said the name, I was like, Din? That's his name? Like Din? Like Rin Tin Tin Din? I don't know.
What?
That's where my mind went. Don't judge me, okay?
I didn't think any of those things. I just kind of was like, okay, that's his name.
But it just didn't
Everybody's got double names. So
it didn't register with me. But now the more I think about it, the more I like it. I mean, because he's not been this stoic character the entire time. He's had some shortcomings. He's had some funny moments. So I think it kind of matches with himself that he wants to be this regal Mandalorian, but he's not perfect.
No.
So name reveal, Cara Dune, we now know, is from Alderaan, which got blown up in episode 4. Right. So you understand why she's got a little bit of angst. Wouldn't you have a little angst if your planet was blown up?
Yeah, and it makes more sense why she's homeless.
Well, she's probably homeless because she's a decommissioned, rebel shock trooper.
But besides all of this,
she's a killer, basically.
Besides that.
I'm just saying.
Besides that.
But she's from Alderaan, and I think they even said about Greef that he's like a ashamed magistrate of the town or something like that. So we got a little bit of backstory to all of them there. And I'm just glad that we finally know the Mandalorian's name, because it's, these are some of the things that we've been wanting to know for some time here. The next thing that we had on our notes was Baby Yoda uses his little force powers.
Man, that was so freaking cute.
Or as you call it, Elsa.
Fingers were like, fire, do not come in here.
One more time, how was that? Now, why do you feel like that was Elsa-y?
Well, I mean, it just is. Like, Elsa uses her powers, and she has ice, and Baby Yoda uses his powers, and he, stops things. I don't know.
It was an interesting way he used his hands, where he was just like that.
My favorite was after it was all done, he was like, oh!
I know, he's like, I'm so tired after that, and I'm just going to plot backwards.
Right, I'm over.
So, basically, Baby Yoda at this point is not only the cute factor, but he's the comic relief.
Basically, Baby Yoda saves the day multiple times.
I mean, he
has to save himself, which is terrible, but I really hope that the writers change his name to Baby Yoda, since we've all adopted that. Like, I know on the show they still call him the child, but he will forever be Baby Yoda.
I mean, he's Baby Yoda. I mean, he's not, you can give him a name, that's fine, but he's not going to be.
He will forever be Baby Yoda.
Forever Baby Yoda in our hearts. But he stops the fire stormtrooper and blows him up when they was coming to blow us up, basically.
Yeah.
Us, I'd say.
Us as in them.
As in when I'm with them. So, yeah. Did you have something you wanted to say there?
I wanted to talk about when they go in the fire pit thing. The fire lava.
We're getting there. Let's try to go a little bit sequentially here. We have one important thing to also bring up about the Mandalorian.
Yeah. This is when he reveals his face.
So he got shot in the head.
This is what we've been waiting on for 8 episodes.
And Jessica was let down. You were.
It's not a lie.
You were. I said, what did you think? And she's like, kind of was expecting something a little bit more.
I just thought that the Mandalorian, no offense to the actor, I'm sure he's very handsome, but he was a little chunkier than I thought he was going to be.
That's what you noticed, not the blood pouring down his head.
I just thought the Mandalorian was going to be this really chiseled, I don't even know who he chiseled actor. But
I think I knew what Pedro Pascal the actor looked like, so I wasn't shocked.
So to be fair, I've never seen this man before. Yeah. So I'm sure his body is very buff, but when you're seeing this much and he's got blood on his face.
Why are we talking about the buff body of other
men? Because no, listen, here's what I was expecting. I expected like some kind of CrossFit man, like he's a Mandalorian, like he shoots people for just a job, and he like is a bounty hunter, and like he was supposed to be like really buff, and then it was just this average Joe that could have been anybody, and then I was like, oh, well, I built it up in my head that he was like superhuman and all of these things, and then he's just like the dad next door, which is fine. It's just not what I pictured in my head.
Now that you're saying it, the dad next door is like that. The dad bod is what the vibe I get from him. Now that I'm not going to be able to get that image out of my head now. Thank you.
Nothing wrong with it. Neither of us are big into working out.
So now that we know,
I just wasn't expecting it.
What we know about the Mandalorian now, his name is Din Djarin, which I thought was Ren 1010 or something like that, and Jessica thought he had a dad bod. So there you go, Pedro Pascal. That's what we took away from you being revealed in this. That's just the way things go sometimes.
Yep.
So IG-11, I keep saying 88. IG-11 saves him. They get down to the tunnels.
Man, that was so cool.
They find the armor, and they find out that all the other Mandalorians have left or died.
Or maybe died.
Jessica took it as died. I took it as left.
It was a pile of helmets. I think they died.
There were no heads falling out of them.
So maybe it's like
it would smell down there.
Maybe it's like no. Maybe it's like a Jedi death where they're like.
One more time. How were they? Like fire? Well, maybe they could have gotten a flamethrower guy to come in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe the Mandalorians are just like.
Or maybe Yoda could use his Elsa powers to go. And then, like, bring the fire down there.
Aren't you glad I'm part of this show?
Good Lord. You've ruined me in my analysis of movies now and shows at this point.
That's what I'm here for.
Not to blow past that, but we find out a little history about Mandalorians, himself, how he came to be, because there's flashbacks to what happened to him during the Clone Wars. He was saved by some Mandalorians, part of the Death Watch clan. That's pretty interesting there. Jessica has no clue what I'm talking about there. But for those of you that are Star Wars nerds like me, you know exactly what that means there. And then we get to what you want to talk about is they have to escape via the lava ocean, I think is what you call it, but it's a river.
Yeah, that would be 100% correct. They go down the lava river, and then they're like, oh crap, they're stormtroopers. We're about to die again. And IG-11's like, not today, my friends. I've got this.
What? He did not say it that way.
That's what he said in my mind.
But he said it in a very logical, and he said, my programming is protect Baby Yoda at all costs, and I also can't be caught.
Right.
And so he logically plays out the only way where I say Baby Yoda and I can't get caught is if I
detonate myself.
And he does that. Were you sad?
I guess.
I was so sad to see IG-11
go. Of metal.
But he's such a good character. I believe it's voiced by Taika Waititi too, and he plays it so well.
That's sad.
I was hoping when he was on the poster, we got him back. Like I said, I thought he was dead after the first episode. So to see him back in 7 and 8 was great. I just feel like he could be a great addition to, and then we already killed Queel.
But
losing everybody, man.
That was really sad. But I liked how he went. He sacrificed himself for the greater good. I'm all about the greater good.
So wrapping up analysis.
Okay.
Gideon's back after they destroy the rest of the Stormtroopers. He flies in with his TIE fighter. We find out he's not just some figurehead. He's actually a pretty decent pilot as well in a TIE fighter.
Didn't shock me though, because think about everybody else that's a figurehead in.
Yeah.
The Imperial.
Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, all good pilots, But the Moffs typically not. They're just these guys that talk like this and are important, and I don't do anything, make statements and things like that.
Thank you for that.
There you go. That's how my impression of a Moff. And the Mandalorian shows that he is able to learn how to use it.
Mandalorian freaking used his Spider-Man powers.
The jetpack with his Spider-Man powers. And man, he cut that thing down a lot easier than I thought he was going to be able to.
I don't know. When the first little bomb thing fell away, I was like, well, here we go. He's not going to get it. And then the second one, he was like, ah.
But I thought they weren't supposed to be able to fly the jetpack without learning it. So he learned it pretty quickly.
Unless he already
Rising Phoenix is what it's called. Unless he what? No.
Maybe he already knew how to do it. We didn't know.
Good point there. It's a good point there. So to end the episode, Cara Dune and Greef decide to stay on Navarro. They're going to work together within the guild now. Baby Yoda and Mandalorian go part from them.
Off into the sunset on the jetpack.
But that's not all, which was an exciting way to end this season. Who should rise?
I was like, I thought that episode was over. And then all of a sudden, here comes Moff Gideon with what I thought was a lightsaber. Clearly, I was wrong.
It is a dark saber, so much different than a lightsaber.
And it was like,
except it's more sword shaped, like it's like got a little curvature and stuff like that. How is it again? One more time. Ding! Huge implications for what this means for the series, for the history of Star Wars. Jessica has no clue with all this stuff, but dating back to it's more connection to the Mandalore lore, and so. We've got a lot of stuff coming up in the next season that's going to be great, and he's on his mission now to reunite with his Baby Yoda with his family or his species or some way, or keep him as a son.
Which I cannot wait.
I think
I have to wait.
It's going to be fun that he has a mission the rest of this next season to go see if he can find these people.
Yeah. If
whoever they are out there. But I'm excited for what's ahead for Moff Gideon, for the Mandalorian Baby Yoda, and hopefully some other characters. So we try to end with 2 questions. What was your question that you had right here?
I don't know. Let me read my notes.
You get to get to your notes there if you need to.
Oh yeah, I do remember my question now that you wrote it down. I wanted to know, like, is that tracker still on the child?
Yeah.
Because we've obviously lost the bassinet.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we talked about this in another episode. That didn't really matter because they still were able to track the child. But now that all the Stormtroopers are gone, like, does Moff Gideon still have a hit on him? Like,
yeah, because the trackers were via the Guild originally, but then it seems like the Imperial guys have the trackers too. So
correct. So who is still tracking the child?
So I think we're going to probably find a way to get rid of the tracker next season. Yeah. My question I have is not so much about Mandalorian or Din, as we found out his name to be, and Baby Yoda, but so much about the characters that are still alive, which you didn't take away from me. John Favreau, but Cara Dune, I almost said Quill, but hashtag sad, too sad right there. Cara Dune, Greef Karga, and the Armorer, which is the lady Mandalorian that gave him his. We didn't even talk about the Mudhorn insignia that he got. He got his clan. Anyway, we don't have time for all that, but he got it.
And Yoda got a necklace.
The Mandalorian little necklace thing. So he's officially a Mandalorian. But I want to know, will we see these individuals next season? I get the feeling we won't, but they'll be used later on down
I was saying, yes, we definitely will.
I think we're going to go places far off.
Places unknown.
And the only one we'll see is Moff Gideon next season. That's my opinion, but that's my question. So now we want to know from you, what questions do you have after Chapter 8, Redemption in The Mandalorian, the final chapter in Season 1? Let us know down there in the comments section below, and make sure you vote in our poll as well. What else should I do?
If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And that's all we have for this edition of Eye to Eye, but until we assemble again,
May the Force be with you.
and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.